Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Time to review one of the most anticipated horror films to come out this year. Yes, right, it is time for The Bride. Because as they say in the film, here comes the motherfucking bride.
Y'all ready for this?
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Monty G. Now, The Bride is a 2026 American Gothic romance horror film that was written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. The film stars Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Annette Bening, Peter Skarsgård, and Penelope Cruz. Now, in the film taking place in 1930 Chicago, Frankenstein's monster asks Dr. Euphorius to help create a companion. They give life to a murdered woman known as the bride, sparking romance, police interest, and cause mayhem. Oh boy, here they go. No, horror fans, when it comes to the Universal monsters, the most interesting character, in my opinion, of the monster has to be the Bride of Frankenstein. Not created by English novelist Mary Shelley in her 1880 novel Frankenstein or the Modern Prometheus, she made her first appearance in the 1935 film, obviously called The Bride of Frankenstein, to be a mate of the monster and was portrayed by British actress Elsa Lanchester. Now, despite her popularity with horror fans, particularly amongst women who like cosplaying the bride, she's only been in a few horror films. You would think a character as popular as the bride would be in more horror films, but when I researched this, she's only really been in a few horror films. No, obviously we have the original 1935 film, and then of course the 85 film called The Bride, where Jennifer Bills plays the bride, called Eva, and of course Helen Bonham Carter plays a version of the character in the 1994 film Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, that was directed by Kenneth Branagh. Now, the bride has also made other appearances in other forms of media and films, such as Mel Brooks as Young Frankenstein. I think she has a small role in that. We have the 1988 animated Scooby Doo film, Scooby Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf, and most recently, she actually makes an appearance in James Gunn's animated series, Creature Commandos. Now, actress and filmmaker Maggie Gyllenhaal brings us her entry latest project featuring the Bride of Frankenstein. This one is called The Bride with an exclamation point. Now, taking place in 1930 Chicago, Mary Shelley, speaking from the afterlife, says that she has another story to tell after Frankenstein, but she's pissed off because she couldn't do it because she died before she can tell this particular story. Now, for some unknown reason, she possesses a woman named Ida who, in a trance, openly discusses about the criminal activity of a Moss Plus Latino whose henchmen accidentally kill her afterwards. Can't have her talking about that in the open, so she gets killed. Meanwhile, Frankenstein's monster, called Frank in this film, arrives at the house of Cornelia Epidaurus, I think that's how you pronounce her name, where, after reading about her work in reanimation, wants her help in creating a companion for him after living for a century of loneliness, which is understandable for a creature that has lived that long period of time. He's lonely. He's obviously seen a lot of humans and their companions and how they express love, and that's what he's looking for. They eventually dig up the body of Ida and successfully revive her, but she has no memory of her past life, so she decides to call herself the Bride. So Frank and the Bride go on a worldwide tirade from Chicago to New York, causing death and mayhem in their wake. Kind of what the film is supposed to be about. When watching this film, it's obviously that Maggie has a good idea of what she wanted this film and the version of the bride to be. No, a very strong woman who loves her man and will do anything to defend him, even if it means killing people that are threatening him and their relationship. I believe that's kind of what I believe Maggie wanted this film to be. But unfortunately, this is not the film that we're getting at. It struggles on what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be a romantic gothic horror film. It's supposed to be copying off of Bonnie and Clyde. Is it doing something that we saw somewhat similar to Joker, Folie à Deux? it's all over the place, and it doesn't know what type of movie it really wants to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, as Maggie and her team has done a great job of how the film looks and feels, and I'm sure people will enjoy this aspect of the film. This film is very well made. Really love the aesthetics of what Maggie has done here. I mean, I love the 30 setting that plays well within this film, especially some of the color palette that Maggie and her team uses here. Some of the glossy effects and set designs really bring out certain scenes in the film. I think in the scene where after Dr. Euphorbius and Frank dig up Ida's body and they take and revive her. I actually like the color palettes in that particular scene. A lot of bright oranges colors in that particular scene. It really sets the tone in that particular scene of the movie. So I thought they did a good job. Now, while the film looks good, it's a script that Maggie has written. It is the main problem, and it seems to have different stories going on here. It doesn't seem as though there's no structure in what Maggie is trying to tell in the story here. I mean, my first problem is the conclusion of Mary Shelley. As for me, it really serves no purpose for any part of the film. Now, I'm pretty sure, as we saw in the original 1935 film, she actually does play a part in the film, but that's as it. She's just a nice introductory part of the film. I think maybe that's what Maggie is trying to do here, trying to pay homage to Mary Shelley and what she did in this particular and what she did in the 35 film and the novel, and that's why she puts her in here. But unfortunately, having her all of a sudden possess Ida's character really plays no function in the story. It's like we really didn't need that part. And I don't know why she included that part. It really takes it. Really doesn't do anything for that particular part of the movie. And there's also another scene that takes place during the third act of the film, similar to the opening of the film, that doesn't make any sense and adds nothing to the film or the characters. It just all of a sudden something happens and then it's like, why is this happening? What's going on here? It serves no purpose at all. And it's like, okay, I just didn't get that part. Now, the best part of the film for me is the relationship between Frank and the bride as they're going on the road acting like Bonnie and Clyde and declaring their love for each other. Even though I'll probably talk about this later, I think it does with the chemistry that Jessica Butley and Christian Bell have in those particular scenes. I really enjoyed that scenes together. There's a point in the film where they decide to go to one of Frank's favorite films, and they're just really enjoying themselves. They have great chemistry together. Obviously, something happens in that particular part, but I really love that aspect of the film as well. As really, that's what I want to see more of. But unfortunately, we don't get that. Other things happening in the film that just happen, and it adds nothing to the bride and Frank's characters. In fact, it kind of takes away what was making the film interesting. There's a particular scene that happens in the film, and all of a sudden we get this musical number that doesn't make any sense at all. And then all of a sudden, another scene happens where obviously we see Jake Gyllenhaal's in this particular film. I don't know what purpose he has in this film. Yeah, I kind of know why in this particular part of the film he's in because we see that early in the film. But including this particular part doesn't make any sense to me. It sort of takes away what was happening. I just did not understand it. And it really shouldn't. And I hope it's not nothing to do with nepotism. Another problem with this film is the side characters, such as Clyde and James, the two henchmen Lupino's henchmen and what they do in this particular film, and Penelope Cruz's character, Mira Momoy, as they really don't bring anything of use to this particular film, especially Penelope Cruz's character. It's like she's just there because she's pretty, she looks nice, she's supposed to be the assistant to Peter Skarsgård's detective character as he's chasing Frank and the bride throughout New York, but she really doesn't add anything to the film at all. Now, Irish actress Jessie Buckley is wonderful as the bride. She does a great job as she gives the character her spunk, her drive, her commitment to Frank. Even when he tells the truth about herself, she still wants to be with Frank, and I thought Jessie Buckley did a fantastic job in this role, despite the script that she was given here. Like I said, she and Kristen Bell are wonderful together as he plays Frank as a monster who is simply trying his best to fit into a society that shuns him, and he just wants to experience love and companionship as humans do for the first time in his life. He does a really good job in this particular field. Sort of a little subdued role, mostly because the film is more focusing on the bride and her character and uh, the the journey that she's going through is mainly her story, but he does play a part in that, but he's not the focus of the film. Like say in Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein film, it's mainly just about the bride's character. Veteran actress Annette Bening chews up every scene this season. As you can tell, she's really enjoying playing this eccentric character, Dr. Europeus. I thought she was fantastic. Anytime when she's in this film playing this character, she's really having a good time. I think she's the best thing in this film other than Jesse Buckley. I really don't know what Maggie was trying to accomplish here, but it seems to me whatever that she wrote down on paper unfortunately did not translate well into this film. I mean, there are times that some people will be getting Joker filet or do vibes in certain parts of this film, but people will believe more in the relationship between Frank and the bride than they did with Joker and Harley in that particular film. But yeah, it's definitely going to get some Joker Fiddler Do vibes in this particular film. And to be honest, I really did want to like this film. I was pulling for Maggie Gyllenhaal because I believe she has a good career to being a director. And there are aspects of the film I did enjoy, but the film lacks a cohesive story that will allow the audience to enjoy it. You can't have a script or a story that's so disconjointed and most of the pieces don't fit that unfortunately most people are not going to enjoy this film, especially for a film that's about 2 hours long and you're sitting waiting for something good to happen, and of course it doesn't happen, it's going to make the film even longer than what it is. So overall, I'm going to give The Bride only 2 out of the Miser's 5 bloody gold coins. Yes, like I said, it's not a bad film. It's just disjointed. It's confusing. It's all over the place. Great performances by Christian Bale and Jesse Buckley and Annette Bening, a lot of wasted stuff. Really don't know what in the world Maggie Gyllenhaal was trying to do here. But like I said before, only giving it 2 out of the Miser's 5 bloody gold coins. So there you have it, horror fans. That is my review and video of Bride. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Have you seen The Bride? What do you thought about it? Did you enjoy the film, or were you just about as confused as everyone else? Please leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell you thought about the film. Also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new videos such as this one. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Money G, and always remember, horror rules. And I see you in my next video. Guys, stay safe out there.